Well, I was trying to find a Facebook post where I put some, like, goals of mine for 2019, but the internet decided to stop working, so I'll better just do it from memory. Hey everybody, it is Jason, and today, hopefully, I'm going to be able to go through some goals of mine, my own, my precious. Wait, that... No. Some goals of mine that I'm going to be doing for 2019. Now, New Year's resolutions and goals and stuff like that, it's not really something I've done much before. I did sort of do it last year. I think I did like a couple of goals. I did it quite well, but I did sort of baby steps for it. The reason being that I've never ever really liked New Year's resolutions because a lot of the types of things people would come up with are things that were either so ridiculously out of proportion and weren't very specific that there was no way they could do it, like be kinder to people or lose weight, you know, really sort of stupidly general things. And also it implies with a resolution that you're doing something wrong and that's bad and whereas actually it's like, well, you know, you always want to improve yourself, and even though our new year is not directly linked to anything astronomical or historical at all. Where am I going with this? It's still, I still find it quite an optimistic time of the year. In fact, I was just thinking when I was at work last week, I much preferred it when people said to me, Happy New Year, as opposed to Merry Christmas. I think maybe because lack of religion in there, because I'm not religious. And I think there was no sort of commercialism in there. You know, I do like it as a time of the year. It's a nice time to sort of reflect. But again, I've never done goals or resolutions. I've always been very scared, actually, to do any kind of fixed, like, goals that are sort of written down. Like, yes, I want to achieve this, and this for this year. I've never done that. I'm such a perfectionist. You know, back in the day, I'd just be like, I don't want to do them because I'm not going to achieve them. And I know it sounds really pessimistic, and just saying it like that, it's like, well, that sounds really stupid, but that's how it was. But anyway, so I do goals. So for those of you who are a bit sort of tentative like me about goals, last year I did sort of a couple of goals, and at least one that I knew for definite I'd be able to do, and that one was, of course, starting testosterone. And I have. Whoop-wee, whoop-wee, whoop-wee-poop, whoop-wee-poop. And the second one, which I've sort of done, I can't remember how I worded it, but basically I've sorted out driving. Her friggin' Ray. I'm quite a late learner. There are reasons for this, but I have taken up driving lessons, and I've been doing driving now for a few months, actually, since about September. And it's going really well. With surgery, I'm not going to be able to pass my test, I don't think. I could probably do theory at a push, but I don't want to kind of push myself too hard, just because surgery is a big priority here. But yes, it is something that I'm doing. I haven't passed my driving test, of course, but I will get onto that in a minute. The third one, if I remember rightly, was doing more music. I did do some more music, but just not very much, not as much as I wanted to. The reason being was either because I couldn't bring myself to do it mentally. I did manage to write and produce some sort of rough music, and that was good. It was a nice sort of stepping stone, like, you know, a few minutes of music, like an instrumental song and things like that. And I did manage to do a bit of one of my songs that I've written, so like the drum part and a bit of the bass. So I want to finish that off. It's such a slow process, and I beat myself up all the time for how long it has taken me to put anything down with music, because, like, for example, with this song, I didn't finish it 4 years ago, but I came up with the main riff and the main sort of premise for the song 4 years ago. It was a long time, but it's just been one of those things. And as well with you know, the voice going down, I've had to think about, like, the melodies for the vocals and stuff, and they're probably not there yet, and, you know, all that stuff. So that was quite complicated to do, and that's why I didn't do it. But I've thought about it, and that's okay, because now I know what I want to do for this year. So, addressing those two things. So, I definitely want to pass my test this year. It would be a bit silly if I didn't. I don't see why I can't. My instructor says I'm fine. I'm learning quite quickly. I'm definitely more confident than I was a few months ago, so I don't see why I can't. I want to be able to get driving. It's another sort of freedom of being able to do stuff and being a bit more independent, not having to rely on my fiancée to drive all the time. And I'm sure she's doing a little dance next door because it means that she can have a drink every so often, and I can drive her to the pub and she can have a drink for a change. So yeah, I definitely want to pass my test this year. With my music, what I decided to do is I did outline a whole album, I think of about 10 tracks and a bonus track, if I remember rightly. It was a while ago though. What I've decided to do is not push myself to do that many songs. I might go on a crazy ass Devin Townsend let's write 4 albums in a year type ridiculousness, but I don't know yet. 4 songs, and there's also a cover song that I'd like to make. So sort of five-ish songs, and if I don't do any more this year, again, that's okay. But that's what I'm setting myself. And I think what's good about goals, which again I didn't really think about, is they don't have to stay exactly the same the whole year. Like, if you realise that it's too much for you, you can amend it, or if it's not enough, you can amend it. So for the minute, it's sort of 4 or 5 songs, and let's make it 5 songs that I want to write. I don't know if that means necessarily doing like proper guitars. I can't play the guitar, which is a big sort of obstacle. But I know people who are decent guitarists who I'm sure will be able to do it. But again, whether I get around to that this year, I'm not entirely sure, but we'll see. The next thing I want to do is, it's a weight thing. It's a fitness, healthiness related thing, which of course is extremely common for people in January to sort of, self-inflict guilt on themselves because they ate too much at Christmas. Even though, commercialism and food is shoved down our throats, in adverts and stuff all the time, but we still blame ourselves for eating too much. There's the whole thing of, yes, I need to lose weight, and then it never happens because you go from all to nothing and expect yourself to go to the gym 5 times a day. 5 times a day. God, that would be insane. 5 times a week, even though you've not been in a gym or even gone walking for like several weeks. It's ridiculous. Now, I have lost weight before, and my situation was a bit different in that I had a larger living room so I could work out at home. I was single. I had more time on my hands because I was working part-time, and all this stuff, but I'm going to make it work. So again, being more precise, I don't like knowing my weight, but unfortunately I had to find it out last week when I was at Charing Cross, because you have to take your weight. So now I know how much I weigh. But hey, I can lose it. So what I would like to do this year is I'd like to lose 2 stone. I don't know exactly how much I'm going to be able to lose before top surgery, because that is in 8 weeks' time, or just under 8 weeks. But I'm certainly going to eat better, more consistently, because I kind of sort of do it on and off a bit, which is a bit naughty, but I want to do it as consistently as I can, and I'm going to be doing things like eating more protein with my food, and sort of various other things that will help with healing. So if I do lose some weight before surgery, then great, but I'm not really setting myself a goal for surgery. I honestly think it's a bit too much pressure. I think I thought about like losing like a jean size before surgery. It's a bit weird in that I kind of am, but also aren't, which I'll explain more about in my 6 months on T. But basically, because of fat redistribution, part of my jeans are falling off me and all that, but I'm not quite of the right shape to fit into the slightly smaller size, which is slightly annoying. So I don't know if I'm kind of meeting that goal, sort of, or not quite, or I don't know. But yeah, I didn't want to set myself a specific goal before surgery, just in case. I'm more focused on basically having more when I'm at work, having more kind of salady lunches, which I'm quite good at doing now anyway, but really kind of shying away from sort of sandwiches and paninis if I can. Again, I'm better than I was, but I really want to try and make it as good as I can. I'm probably going to limit it to like one panini or sandwich a week, like that's it. And then like in like salad bar, there's lots of things I get anyway, like sort of healthy options, so like chickpeas, nice sort of salads, couscous, tuna. I have tuna a lot because it's a nice sort of omega-3 fatty acids and protein and stuff. Eggs, like boiled eggs, and then there's soup as well, which I know sometimes can be a bit like fatty if it's cream of, but yeah. And then I don't really have any bread either, unless it's like a sandwich or panini, which I guess is good, so I'm having healthier carbs. Then with coffee, it's black all the way. Now I've sort of had quite a lot of like lattes over Christmas and stuff. There's no problem at all with me now having black coffee all the time. Again, I don't really mind. And then with the gym, I want to do four times a week, which again has been on and off. And yeah, so far it's fine. It's tricky if it's busy or if someone's on the machine that you want, and unfortunately, because of how small it is, I can't do workouts that I used to be able to, which involved basically no equipment, but you need sort of space in order to either do sort of kickboxing, like air kickboxing, or jump around or shit like that, so I can't do that. But I carry on with sort of aerobic exercises like cross trainer and strength stuff. But with the strength stuff, I'm mixing it up a bit. Before I was sort of just wanting to keep to the static weight machines and the ropes, but I'm trying to implement more free weights again to help with my form. And yeah, so it's going okay. I just want to keep it to 4 times a week now, even if I don't do as much time in the gym as I would like to, because it's a bit of a rush at lunchtime to kind of go there, get changed, go in, do it, come back out, and then be back at your desk for the right time. I still want to go in and do it 4 times a week, as opposed to 3 times a week and a bit longer. So there's that. Then, I guess with the other goals, which again I was trying to find my phone but can't find because the internet wasn't working, it's all sort of goals that I want to do, things that I want to do after top surgery, and I'm free of the moobs. So I want to basically enjoy the crap out of summer. I need to be careful not to get burnt, obviously, but it's something I've wanted to do for so long. I've wanted to love summer for what it is, and sort of not wearing very much and being nice and hot to an extent. Again, I don't like the heat too much, but in the UK, have a nice cold beer and just whatever. I want to be able to do that. I really, really do, and I'm so close. So enjoy summer a lot. I want to go swimming. I really, really, really want to go swimming. I've loved swimming since I was a kid. Not like super, super seriously. Like I wasn't in like competitions and stuff. But I did swimming when I was very little, and I've lived on an island for 18 years. So you get used to water being everywhere and swimming and stuff. And the whole kind of conflict with me going to a hot country and swimming, but having these and wearing a bikini, it was just so wrong. It was so conflicting in my mind, and it's like I want to like it, but I can't. Whereas now I actually can. I can actually enjoy it for what it is. I will not get terrified walking down to the water thinking that people are looking at me. I will be able to just relax, like not constantly have stuff going around in my head all the time. I kind of want to do a video on that separately, actually, thinking about it, but that's really the main reason why I want to go swimming again. I've just missed it so much. I haven't swum, I think, for about 4 years. It's just... No, not 4 years what we're talking about. Last time I swam was in 2016, so I have not swum at all for over 2 years. 2.5 years. Just, depressing. I also want to definitely... I want to say make more videos, but again, that's a bit too general. I want to definitely make more videos more regularly, if that makes sense. I think again with top surgery, that's going to be a thing anyway. And then obviously post-op, there's going to be, this is my chest, 1 month post-op. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm saying that. And as well as like tea and other things. But I want to make more topical videos and stuff. And I want to also help my fiance more on our other channel, Pair of Geeks, and do other stuff like that. So I want to do more with filming, definitely. And just kind of do it more. Because again, with top surgery and dysphoria in general, it's been very difficult filming. And now that I'm getting closer to top surgery, I've managed to understand more about why I've felt reluctant to film. It's really bizarre because a couple of years ago I was absolutely fine with filming stuff, like a lot. I did it a lot. I built up this persona in role-playing, and I was quite big in our sort of smallish community. I was one of the big people in that community, and you know, I did videos, I did live videos, and it kind of, I became more and more reluctant and more uncomfortable making them since coming out. And it became harder to film them. Like, I found it more difficult, and I got more self-conscious and more judgmental, and not being able to come up with ideas as well, and just less creative in general, and things like that. I even went through a hiatus of just not really DMing at all. And in terms of role-playing, because the filming was also role-playing based, and it was all that. And now that I'm much more comfortable with my voice, although I'm not right now because I've just had coffee without any water and I've got a sore throat, but anyway, I'm much more comfortable with my voice, and it's been a lot easier to make these kinds of videos and stuff. But in certain situations, I don't know what it is, maybe it's sort of like if you're filming multiple angles and doing like different shots, I think. Just thinking about it now, that would kind of make sense, because it's like, I think I'm self-consciously worried that people are going to see, or I will notice, or something like that. So, yeah, there was the voice dysphoria, which was actually quite a massive thing, apparently. And I remember saying I had trouble editing because of that, whereas now it's much easier because I'm, again, uncomfortable with how my voice sounds. But with kind of more complicated videos, and kind of creatively thinking through stuff and what to say, it's still very difficult. I think maybe I'm now finding it a bit easier, although I haven't done a video of that kind for a while, but I feel like I could be a bit, I don't know, more at ease doing it. And live stream videos are fine. I mean, hell, I did a massive one for Com+1, which was 24 hours long. And yeah, with that, I was fine. But the friggin' it's like, this was a problem. I had to take it off because it was hurting, and just hope that nobody saw it under like a big hoodie and stuff. So basically I got to a point where I could like do live stuff, and I was okay with that. For some reason live is alright, but filming isn't. Like filming, like working out a video with like multiple shots and working out scripty stuff and what you're going to say and things on topics of RPGs, I found that so difficult. And I think that, like some people said before, that top surgery makes videoing much easier. So I'm really, really hoping not only will it make it better for me to look at myself, and I'll be sort of looking down, oh my god, I don't want to look at that, but looking down, but also it will free up my head so much of just thinking about this all the time, and I do it without thinking. Yeah, sorry, I've gone off on one, but it is a big deal for me, and it's been a real struggle. I've not really talked about it very much, not in that much detail, and not actually thought, okay, well, why do you feel this way? But now I kind of understand, and again, I'm finding sort of commiseration with myself, finally. But I'm really, really hoping that will all no longer be a thing after surgery, which is really, really hopeful. Some other things that I was thinking about, again, kind of going from memory here, but I want to just go to more places in general. I want to see more things. I want to attend maybe more concerts and like, say, beer festivals and stuff like that. Just like do more outside, not be kind of confined. And again, I'm not like inside the house all the time. I do go out, but you know, with the binder, and again having to wear it like over a long period of time, it's getting more and more difficult to go and do something. Like if I'm travelling for a couple of hours and then spending a day down, say, in London with a binder on, you know, I've got to think about that and like, okay, you know, it's going to hurt and stuff and all this. You know, that's not going to be a thing anymore. It's amazing. It's amazing, amazing, amazing. Yeah, this is kind of been a sort of a talk about my chest and what I can do. But yeah, I mean, there are a lot of goals that I'll be able to achieve after top surgery. So even though, okay, it's not the whole year, it's the majority of the year in my opinion. It's gonna be after I've healed, which will be sort of start of April-ish, May, and then the rest of the year it's gonna just be amazing. So yeah, those are my goals, if you will. And feel free to leave your goals down below and stuff. I think that this, like, people have to say, like, yes, this is your year, you're going to do it. And in a way, yeah, this is my year, because while, yes, okay, tea was great, I spent, like, 6 months waiting for it, and I hardly did anything in the meantime. I kind of look back at it, it's almost like a void in my life, and then I did some stuff in the last 6 months. But yeah, this year I really want to do more. So again, I don't want to like put loads of pressure to do loads of stuff before surgery, but I have things kind of I want to at least start or touch upon. And then things like with driving, for example, that's ongoing, so that's fine. Tea is obviously ongoing, that's obviously, I don't want to like go off it or anything. Yeah, so there they are. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry if I went a bit of a ramble, but I wanted to express how I felt, especially about filming and stuff. It's important to me. So yeah, feel free to leave your resolutions down below. Feel free to like and subscribe for other updates and cool stuff about my transition. And of course, ring the bell because you get emails that I'm actually making videos, which means that they're probably going to go mental after surgery. Let's hope, fingers crossed. But in the meantime, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!